Hey Indonesia, this is Tyler Shaw. Check out my interview on CreativeDisc.com, the #1 music website in Indonesia.
Hello and welcome back to another Creative Disc exclusive interview, CB lovers. With me today, you know, of course. And today I'm accompanied with the singer, songwriter, who's ready to rock the world with his amazing voice and great songs. He recently released his new album, and here with me now, the man himself, Tyler Shaw. Hi, Tyler. How are you, man?
Hello. Good. How are you?
I'm totally great. I'm sipping my coffee. It's early morning in Indonesia, but I'm hanging in there, still finally
Nice.
meeting you and ask you about your music. So how are you? How's everything down there?
It's fantastic. I'm here in Canada, and it's still
Mm.
got some warm weather going on, and I have a new album out, so lots to talk about. And I'm really
Right.
excited about all the new music. So
Yeah. So I'm so excited to talk about your music as well because I listened to it like when your album has released, I listened to it and I'm like, wow, this man is such a great songwriter and such a great what is it like when you create your music, it's like I can feel the mood though whenever I heard your song. It's a great album, by the way. Congratulations on
thank
that.
you.
So
Thank you.
before talking more about the album itself, Tyler, you've been into the music industry for almost a decade now, if I'm not mistaken. So let's take you back to the first time you decided to try music as your career. Is it your first choice?
It was actually surprisingly, it wasn't. I was actually trying to be a professional soccer player. I played high level soccer all my life,
Wow.
and I actually went to university on a soccer scholarship. So that was like my
Wow.
my main focus. And you may not believe it, but when I first started out with music, I was actually really bad. Like I was really bad. Like I remember my first songs was playing and like I couldn't play the guitar very well. I self-taught myself every instrument, like piano, guitars, drums, and everything. And taught myself how to sing, but it was like a gradual climb. I wasn't just like immediately good. Just
Okay.
like you think of Michael Jordan, a basketball player. He got cut from his high school team, for example. You have to start from somewhere, and then that just kind of makes you better and better and better. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
this whole journey has been really really fun. But to answer your question, soccer was actually my like, oh, I want to do that. That was the dream, right? And music was just something that
Wow.
I loved to do. I loved to write. I loved to sing. And then,
Mhm,
when I got the music opportunity, I had to go
mhm.
for it because it was something that I loved, and I'm glad I did. And I wouldn't be wanting to do anything else. So
Great. I'm
yeah.
surprised because I never thought that the first choice that you have in mind was a soccer player. I mean, like, wow, I never thought that soccer player become an athlete, become a musician. I mean,
Right.
well, you learn along with such a great turning into your life. I mean, you're learning your guitar and all of the instrument that you have. You're learning also writing on your own music. I mean, do you remember when you first writing your own music? How does it feel and how has it turned out?
Well, I remember the first song that I wrote when I was, I think, 13. I fell in love with this girl, or I had a crush on this girl, and I
Okay.
called it. I called it. The song was her name. It was called the Terra song, and it was bad. It's really, really bad. Um,
But you happen
but
to like sing in front of her?
you know what? I can't even remember. It was like a country song. I think the vibe was like I don't even remember, but I remember it being more on the countryside of things, which is really, really random. But like I said just moments ago, you have to start somewhere, right? So that was like the first song I ever wrote, and then throughout my entire schooling, middle school, high school, university, I was writing like 2, 3 songs a day, and with
Wow.
anything practice, you get better and you get better, you get better, you get better. Life experience, especially with songwriting as an art form, you get better, you have more to
Mhm.
talk about, you have this concept that's a little bit different and then this concept. So with age, with time, with practice, all these the formula, I guess you could say, definitely definitely helps the process in the artistry.
Yeah. So when it comes to writing a song, do you drawn into some kind of like your own experience, or perhaps you just like listen to other people's stories and then make it, and you interested to that story and then you make it song out of it, or how is the process though?
Both. It could be both. There's a song on my new album called North Star, and that's strictly just like I wanted to write a song lyrically, just really cool things. The first lyric in the song is I was staring at a waterfall because it was on fire. I don't really know necessarily what it means, but like I love that visual of it. So that was more so just like ideas popping into my head versus let's take the song Say Nothing, which was grabbed
Yes.
from in real life inspiration. I had an argument with my wife, and I wrote a song
Mm.
about the moment in time in an argument or a disagreement where nothing is said and it's just kind of silent. So, and there's a bunch of songs on the album that are ideas, that are life
Mm.
experiences, but in some way or another, whether I took the inspiration from a real idea or not, I can put it
Yeah.
into some aspect of my life, which is, I love that about music. Once I'm done writing the song, you can kind of be like, oh, this weirdly relates to my life right now, even though I wasn't thinking of this at the time. So,
Mhm. Yeah, that's what I what is it what I feel when I heard music. Even though I don't in particular feel that experience. I mean, I happen to feel that experience, but I feel related to every single song that I like. That's a weird thing about music, right?
yeah, yeah, you don't need to speak the same language, right? It's a feeling, which I love. I love that. Yeah.
Okay, so speaking more about the album, congratulations on the self-titled album, Tyler. I love it so much,
Thank
and
you.
I found interesting thing that after I read the press release, there you stated that you treated this album as your debut album. Can you tell us why you treated this album in particular to be your debut album as a debut album?
Absolutely. So when I first got into the music industry, I released a couple songs and they did really well for me. Hit platinum, hit gold, hit the charts really well. But during that
Mhm.
time, my first album, which is called Yesterday, I didn't really know who I was as an artist. Like I didn't know what I was doing necessarily. Fast forward to my second album called Intuition, and now I'm kind of
Mhm.
getting more of a understanding about who I am. I introduced my Chinese name and that on that front with the Chinese artwork, for the album artwork, and I had more of an idea of what I wanted to talk about in the music. And now I'm on album three, almost 10 years later in this industry, and I feel like this whole journey has led me up to this point where I understand who I am as a person more than I ever have. I understand who I am as an artist more than I ever have. And now I feel like this is the best moment in time for my life and for my career to be like, okay, these are the songs that I'd be willing to fully get behind and show the world, because this body of work is by far my favorite. And it's something I'm super proud of and I want to slap my name on. So here we are, album number three.
Wow, that's a great philosophy. I mean, when you try to release your first album, you kind of like stumble into like what the sound that I like the most, and then you grew as your second album, and this is your
Hmm.
third album, and you feel comfortable to present it to the world, if I must say, right? So the
Exactly,
thing that I
exactly.
love about this album, though, Tyler, there are such pop music, but the listeners won't feel like they've been pushed to experience it way too much. And because you balance it with a ballad song as well. I mean,
Hmm.
that's a great thing about this album, and I have to congratulate you on that. That's the thing
Thank
that
you.
I really like about this album. But is there any particular thing that you want to express through this album, though?
Not necessarily. Honestly, I'm just looking for new fans around the world. I the reason I make music is to help people enhance their feelings. So if they're celebrating something, I want to be part of it with the music. If they're healing with something, I want to be part of it with the music. And or if they're crying or if they're in love, whatever emotion you're going through. I want to be sure that my music is there to enhance that and be a part of that day and be part of that memory. Um, because I think that's just a beautiful thing. You know, making people feel things is what I love to
Yeah,
do through the music. So when you listen to this album, make sure you go from track 1 all the way down to track 11, and you know, enjoy
exactly.
it, enjoy it.
Exactly, because I feel like some sort of like roller coaster feeling, if I must say. I
Yeah.
mean, from the first track until the other, you try to express so many things that
Hmm.
you explain it to us. So you cannot, when you feel sad, you cannot have the track that fits you perfectly, and when you
Yeah.
want to dance around in your house or somewhere, you
Yeah.
have those kind of stuff as well. I mean, that's a great
Totally.
thing, though.
Yeah.
So, you released this album in the middle of the pandemic, though it's starting to get better right now, yet we are still here. So, is it become your biggest obstacle when it comes to promoting or creating this album in particular, Tyler?
Sorry, I couldn't. What was the question?
So, we are in the middle of the pandemic. Is it become your biggest obstacle in terms of like promoting or creating this album?
Oh, gotcha. I mean, in terms of that, a little bit, yeah, just because, you know, usually I'd be going to places, but because we have this technology, it's really easy
Yes.
to be able to talk to people, and I'm really excited we're doing this. So in that sense, the reach, the global reach has been incredible, and probably the widest reach that I've ever gotten on on an album.
Yeah, yeah, that's the thing that I like about this pandemic situation that I like.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
we can like meet each other in what is it, like different part of the world, but still can connect to each other, right?
exactly, exactly.
Okay, so Tyler, today Asian representation in many sectors are become like more important than before, right? Yet,
Hmm.
thankfully, there are already many Asian representations in entertainment industry. If I must say, the recent one is the Marvel movie Shang-Chi, and you also is an Asian representation, if I must say, and you show that your Asian heritage and you show your Asian name to the people to know that hey, I'm also the Asian representation. Any comment on this phenomenon that we have? And do you also feel the need of Asian representation become more important to this day?
I think the phenomenon is extraordinary. You know, I think now more than ever, people are realizing the impact Asians have on the
Yeah,
world, whether it's fashion, food, style, music, like everything, all encompassing, which is amazing. And you know, growing up, I unfortunately didn't have that experience just because of the way my family dynamic is. But around when I was creating the Intuition album, that's when I kind of discovered this part of me or rediscovered this part of me that was missing for so long. And that's why I decided to bring it into to the forefront with me. And I'm super proud of that. And with that experience, I came to realize like everybody should be proud of who they are and where they come from, and they shouldn't be ashamed of that. You know, if you're half like me, like half Chinese, half Canadian, amazing. If you are Indonesian, absolutely. I want to learn more about your culture. I want to learn more about this culture. Like we should be celebrating each other's cultures and styles and just like lift each other up, because it makes zero sense to be like, that's weird. That like, no, that's cool. That's your
yeah,
culture. It's just, it's not weird because it's different, right? Which makes it makes zero sense. But you know, this movement's going to keep going forward. It's going to keep changing. And I can't wait to see, you know, what the Asian culture inspires next for Western culture.
right, right. That's the thing that I really excited about as well because in these days, I mean, to be an Asian, it's a hard thing in Indonesia as well because you've been like what is it like picking what is it like bully or something. I mean,
Hmm.
but there are a lot of people that appreciate you as a nation and you have to be proud as you were saying to be
Yeah,
a nation whenever you're born with, right? I mean, your
yeah,
culture is it's the most important thing in this world beyond other, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So, Tyler, back to music. If any aspiring musician, though, or perhaps Asian musician out there who listen or watching this video, do you have any tips or message to them? I know that you already give us so much tips when you try to explain us about your journey, but is there any particular tips that you wanted to say to them?
I think, if you're starting out doing music, and this goes for actually anything that you love, really. We live in this interesting world where social media is global reaching. Like you can reach so many people on so many different platforms.
Right.
So I would say two things. Try your best to make as many videos as you can and put it up there. Make your 30-second covers, or go cover a Tyler Shaw song if you want, and play
Yes.
some music and just get it up there. Sing if you don't play an instrument. Do whatever it is you want and showcase yourself online. And also don't be afraid to ask questions, and stay positive. So that's about as much advice.
Wow. That, that's a great tip, man. Thank you for that. I mean, I hope it inspire any aspiring musicians out there to do more and what is it like reach their dream to become a musician like you, right?
Absolutely.
So tell me, what is music for Tyler Shaw? What is the definition of music from your point of view, though?
The definition, just music as a whole,
Yeah,
I think it
I,
would be
probably
called,
like what is music for you?
music for me is a universal language. It's yeah, it's a universal language. That's it.
Whoa. Okay. That's a short explanation, but means a lot. I mean, yes, a universal language. Although we don't understand what the meaning of the song, we can feel it, the song, right?
Yes.
When you hear a
Yeah.
ballad song, like makes you cry, but you don't understand the language. But wow, that's a great that's a great explanation. Tyler, this is my last situation for you. The first one will be, what is five random things or random facts that probably people didn't know about Tyler Shaw?
Oh my goodness. Okay, I grew up in Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada.
Wow,
Um,
okay. I'm second.
I played university level soccer, and I was a goalkeeper at that.
Wow.
Uh, yeah.
That's probably the third one. That's probably
Okay,
the third
sure.
one.
Well,
And the
that'll
fourth
be the third one. The fourth one, I can cook really well.
wow.
I love to cook.
Wow.
I love to cook.
What's your
And
favorite? What is it? Oh,
what do I like to cook?
yes.
Like literally anything. I just love being in the kitchen.
Oh,
I don't know. Yeah. I don't have
wow.
a go-to meal or anything. And the
All
fifth
right. All
one
right.
would probably be, I'm one of five siblings.
Wow. So you are the oldest one, or
I'm the
the
second
oldest,
oldest.
right? The eldest.
Second oldest.
Second. Wow.
Yeah.
Five children. Wow, great. So that's five facts, random thing that we didn't know about Tarisha. So the last question will be: is there any message to your Indonesian listeners or fans that watching this video or listening to the podcast?
I want to say that I love you for loving me and supporting me. I think that your support goes a long way, and I wouldn't be here without it. So I hope to get over there soon and play a lot of live music for you and just hang out. And like I
Please,
said earlier, I want to experience everything Indonesia has to offer. So hopefully, see you guys soon.
please come to Indonesia and play our some music. And I do believe that you're gonna enjoy our food as well because you
Oh yeah,
love food that much. So we're gonna try some Indonesian food whenever you come to Indonesia. So
amazing.
come to this. Sanisha, thank you so much for your time. It's been a great pleasure of mine to talk to you and explore a little bit about your music and your life and your inspiration. It's been a great